Everybody knows the book of Jonah. Everybody knows that Jonah was running from God. And every time somebody ever preached that message, they always preach it as a preacher that was running from God. And that a preacher who got caught by a fish, and that he had to let God have his way.
Yes.
So when you hear the book of Jonah, you hear that he ran from God, and a lot of times you don't hear the rest of the story about Jonah. God's been chasing me. He said 5 things. He said the call, the chase, the agony, the surrenderance, and then the assignment.
Come on, baby.
And I thank God right now today.
Yes.
Because just as the book of Jonah, he was called by God to do this thing. Jonah didn't want to do this thing. But the Bible didn't tell you in the book of Jonah why Jonah didn't want to do this thing. But it take you to research, and God knows I'm a researcher. I wanted to find out. But me and Jonah going to be looking alike. Why did Jonah not want to do the call, God? So Jonah ran from the call. And it reminded me of myself, because when God was calling me at 23 years old, and God called me and I was running from the call. You know why? Because I knew that I had friends. I knew that I had family members. I knew that I had folks that would not hear from me. Why? Because Michelle was smoking weed. Michelle was drinking. Michelle was fornicating. Michelle had babies out of wedlock. I'm not going through. People won't hear from me. They're the people who I sat there and played cards with, went out to the clubs with, and when it did God, they won't hear from me.
Okay.
So at 23 years old, I ran from the call. In ministry school, I ran from the call at 23. That was the call. Now the chase was on. This is just like what Jonah was going through. He went, he said, I'm going to run so I can get out the presence of God. He got in the boat. He said, I'm going to run and go into the opposite direction of what God is calling me to do. And that's what I did. I came from Michigan to Atlanta, Georgia. That was the chase. And when I got here, I told God the same thing of Jonah did. I told God, I ain't messing with no church people. Jonah didn't only run from his place and run from the people. He ran to a whole nother place to get away from everybody. And that's what I did when I got to Georgia. I came here. I don't want to do no more church. I don't want to hear that fake stuff. I don't want to see no more false pastors. I don't want to see no more fake folks. I'm running. God, I don't want to do it. God, they have already used. I gave up money. I did it all. And God, if churches don't be like this, I don't want no part. I walked away. And I brought my 2 children down here to Georgia. And that was the chase. And it didn't matter wherever I went. I would go into places. I would go into restaurants. I remember God would give me dreams of people talking to me. And I would go into those places. And the lady pulled me to the side. I wasn't even here 2 weeks. She said, God got a call on you. I need you to contact me. I'm here. That was the chase. Now, the agony. The agony of doing the Jonah. I'm going to sit back and sleep on this thing. While all the storms was going on, Jonah was saying, I'm going to sleep. And in the midst of it, he not knowing that God sent some people around him to shaking him, Jonah was thrown over into the fish mouth. And it was then in that place where he began to experience some agony. And my agony in the midst of walking away from God, I walked away and I said, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to find me somebody. I know they believe in God. But I'm going to deal with people who ain't really all into God, so I can just do my own thing, because I'm tired of church people and then doing my own thing. I got pregnant. I got pregnant with not 1 child, but 2. I got pregnant right after that, and then I began to feel the agony. But God was still talking to me even in those places. He was still talking to me even in those places. So don't hear that God don't hear a sinner's prayer. Because he was still talking to me, and I kept saying, God, get me out, God. God, you do it, God. God kept saying, no, you going to do this. Because you blamed the pastor the first time. You blamed somebody else who did things to you when you was a kid the second time. He said, but you can only blame yourself for this. Now I want you to see who I am through this situation, and you're going to get up out of this. That was the agony of it all. So after the agony part, I still was in it. I still was dealing with it. Nobody can understand, but I'm going to tell you something about when God called you. Many people is not going to understand. But it's going to be something in your spirit. It's going to be something that's not settling. It's going to be something that nobody going to understand. They're going to think you crazy. But it's going to be something because God is not going to give you rest. And he ain't going to give you peace. And I had to tell the people around me, I got to go. Y'all better throw me over. I got to go. Y'all better throw me over because this ain't going to be good. Because if God is telling me to do something and I'm not doing it, you don't want to be a part of this, I got to go. I had to make some tough decisions to walk away. And it was tough. It was not understandable. I had to make some tough decisions. And in the midst of that, I had to hear the voice of God And that was my surrendering part. And in my surrendering part, God put me in a place. And it did not mean that the devil wasn't going to keep trying to take you through something. Because he's going to keep on coming because he knows the assignment on your life.
That's right.
And from that moment of surrendering, going through, seeing the power of God, allowing him to restore me, allowing him to heal me, allowing him to work with me, allowing him to show me about my past transgressions, allowing him to love back on me and tell me, baby, I knew you before you was even formed in your mother's womb. I knew everything that you was going to go through. I knew it before you went through it, and I have already made a way of escape for you. That was my surrendering part. And now, this is the assignment. And many people have tried to do this, but God will not allow it to happen. Many people tried to do it, but God would not allow it to happen. It wasn't until this year. And so I began to search the internet and look for ordination. There was a whole bunch of them on there, but God said to me, no, they are ordaining demons.
Yes.
That is not. Now, he didn't say that to nobody else. He said it to me.
You better tell it.
He said, no. How you going to let somebody ordain you and give you a piece of paper who don't know nothing about you and then tell you that anybody can be ordained in any group, in any person? You can't know. God said they're ordaining demons. No. God, no. I know. He's been taking me through a process for over 10 years. He's been teaching me, putting me in ministry school, people, places, and all type of schools. I said, well, I know, God, that ain't it. And so I said, you know what, God? I'll take my hands off of it. That invite, if I did not believe that God was behind it.
Amen.
Because he did not allow it to happen for over 10 years, and I was not pressed for it to happen. When I said, God, I surrender. It don't stop for the enemy. The attack gets real. Everything comes against you. Everybody wants to try to say that you ain't this and you ain't that, but man did not call me to this. God called me to this. This is not a fun. This is not about a title. This is about an assignment over your life. And sometimes at the expense of losing the very ones you love. Because they won't understand. Jesus preached at the temple. And when Jesus was preaching at the temple, there was a knock on the door. And they said, stop, that's Jesus' mother. Stop, that's Jesus' brother. Jesus said, hold on. Who is my mother? Who is my brother? It is the one who does the will of my Father. For that now is my mother. For that's why he says, many are called, but few are chosen. And the reason why few are chosen, because some just say, I ain't doing it.
Come on now.
I ain't doing it. I got to give up my fun. I got to give up my adventures, my degrees. I ain't doing it. But I said, God, for you I live. For you I die.